So dogs are not considered animals of burden. They're not considered animals of burden. So I thought this was an interesting um, um, idea because they kind of look like animals of burden, but they can't really carry a load, a heavy load. And I'm not talking about the little doggy backpack with the little juice on the side because you're going hiking. I'm talking about relying on a dog to carry a load like you would an animal of burden. But what is the load? When we say the load, what are we talking about? So carrying a load means carrying something from the very beginning of a thing all the way to reproduction and everything that comes with it. That's what I mean when I say carrying a load. So now we start thinking about the human person, right? But where do we see this idea of carrying the load in the way that the human is supposed to carry the load, right? Not the dog who can't carry the load. So we see it in the tree. The tree withstands all the seasons: summer, winter, spring, fall, hail, sleet, snow, lightning bolts, anything, all the weather that's going on, and it has a mission. It sticks to the mission from the moment it's been seeded into the ground all the way until it produces fruit. And so when it produces fruit for everybody. Everyone gets to benefit over and over and over again. So from the beginning of the thing all the way to its reproduction. You could see this in the mother who's pregnant, right? The mother has this baby, this seed inside of her. She is going to have this baby. In her mind, she's made the commitment. I'm going to deliver this baby. That's my commitment. I don't know what's going to happen. I could die during childbirth. The baby could come out retarded. Something could be totally wrong with this baby. I have no idea what's going to happen. But she reaches the end of the pregnancy. This baby comes. This is a whole human being who can also reproduce. So again, from the beginning of a thing all the way to the end of it. And the end result, when you work really hard and you complete something, it should have reproduction. Okay. The water that carry the clouds from one destination to the next. We see these clouds carrying this water. We don't know if it's bringing a tornado. The lightning's going to strike you that day. We don't know what it's going to bring, but we know the rain's going to come. Hey, we're going to have vegetation. Your grass is going to look incredible. That would be the benefit of it, right? Or it could be a total disaster. But it gets to where it's supposed to go all over the planet so that people can have drinking water and food, and it completes its job, and we're able to just reproduce, keep going. But, with that, while I was thinking on that, I started thinking about global warming and how, wow, what if Mother Nature decided it wanted to just, stop and just have a quick moment? I'm going to just, I'm not going to carry the load. I'm tired today. No, Mother Nature takes its time and goes all the way through the whole process. But because I'm sure if you stopped and really thought about this the way that I've been thinking about it, like take your time and think, this society breeds dogs in human beings. And one huge way is that we live in a microwave popcorn society where things have to come very quick. Just that idea goes against nature itself, which takes its time to do everything it's supposed to do so we can have a reproduction. So those are two opposites. And no wonder we're having so many problems with global warming, and it's extremely urgent. We don't want to believe it, but it's real, and you're going to start seeing it more and more. We're already seeing it with the weather. But this is what happened when people become like dogs. So if you give the dog a load to carry, he can't do it. He can really only assist you in short tasks. A dog can assist you in short tasks for a treat or a reward because he's not able to carry the load. Now, when you look at your own behavior, you look at our behavior as a group, how many of us are living these lifestyles where we're not actually the one to carry the load, and so our circumstance doesn't get improved, right? We just kind of live day to day, right? But there are people that carry the load. So I'll get back to that, but I want to talk about this animal of burden, these animals that actually carry the load. So back in time, we had camels, donkeys, horses, cattle carrying our loads for us. Now we have trucks, ships, airplanes, things, like this. But either one, they go through difficult weather. They go through hills and all kinds of situations and circumstances to go from one point to its end point, right? And if you think about the animal, let's just think about the animals by themselves. The people that had animals of burden, that's what we're calling them, the ones that can carry the load, they treated those animals a lot better than they treated their animals, like their chickens and things, that couldn't carry. Especially their horses. Like the horse had its own house, like the horse stable. It had its own leather outfits. It had its horseshoes. It had its own hairstylist, these horse groomers, and the horse was the animal that literally carried the man himself. Horses were animals of pride. I mean, people took great care of their horses, fed them human food. Really elevated their horses because of the load that the horse would carry. That horse was important because, like I said, it carried the man himself. But think about how we treat our transportation vehicles. I mean, very, very similar. We bathe them, oil changes, taking them to the car doctor all the time. We cry when they break down. Like, of all of our property, those properties that we have of transportation, we tend to them and treat them a lot better than our other possessions. So here begs the question, right? When you're thinking with me now, right? Here begs the question, what happened over time that people became like dogs and somehow we're promoting and elevating that? So this is like my third or fourth presentation on the dog. And if you've been listening, we're talking about a person who just over exaggerates, fake body parts, fast lifestyle, working day to day, microwave society, killing the planet with global warming. But we've elevated this. Oh, and don't let me forget sex, instant gratification constantly. But we've elevated this characteristic in the human being. We've elevated this characteristic in the human being. And God himself didn't even do that. He didn't elevate the dog like that to be in any position, in any honorable position in the human character. So what has happened with that? And even the fact that, we have dogs, and I think we're starting to, it's okay to have a dog, but I think we're starting to not be able to see the truth to the point where we can't see it. You're no offense if you like to eat ice cream with your dog, but I think it's disgusting. Okay. No offense if you like to kiss your dog, but a dog's tongue all on your mouth and stuff. There should be something wrong with that, because if you watch the behavior of the dog and all the things that he does, you shouldn't want him licking your mouth. But now it is a normal behavior. And I'm not going to stop saying that I think it's disgusting just because your feelings get hurt. That's nasty. Okay. But, to wrap this up, in ancient civilizations, the dog was a symbol of the god of death, right? He was the overseer of the process of dying. The overseer of the process of dying. Now, if you go back and think about the examples I gave about quick satisfaction and global warming, what happens when we are no longer able to commit to the natural evolution of things, right? To commit to starting from the beginning, dealing with all the burdens that come along with it, hanging in there until we get to the end so that we can reproduce the best ways that we can. The opposite of that is the process of dying.